Hi everyone, Angelina again. After my reading yesterday on your next relationship, I felt, because of the reactions that I got from you, I felt it necessary to do a short video on, give you a little bit more insight and information, because a lot of people clearly are quite upset or, confused, and that's not the idea, that's not what I want. I was very clear as well when I started the reading that in your next relationship is not necessarily your wonderful, glorious relationship. Oftentimes we first have to go through a number of other relationships, or at least one, in order to heal. So then we are ready for that glorious, wonderful relationship. And you can dislike that, you cannot want that, you can resist that, but then that also means that you deny yourself happiness in life, right? How can you expect that when you are hurt because of another relationship where you got hurt and triggered and where you were abused or whatever, and because of that you are not ready really for that great love, then how can you expect another partner who is ready for great love and for a wonderful relationship to be a match for you? That doesn't work. And then in that case, it's not like the other party, the new partner, is going to be abusive or not ready for a healthy relationship. You are not ready for that relationship because you still have these triggers that you need to work on and that you need to deal with and get out of your system. And that is no blame. There's no blame involved in that. It's just something that happened. You can't even blame the partner who was abusive, because you also attracted that person yourself into your life for whatever reason. And in my experience, I have been in an abusive relationship myself, okay? So I'm not talking out of my rectum. I know what I'm talking about. I've had every kind of abuse that you can think of: emotional, verbal, psychological, mental, financial, sexual, physical, you name it, I've had it in that relationship. My kids were abused as well, psychologically, emotionally, etc., etc. My ex was a narcissist, and that's what they tend to do. They don't just abuse the partner, they also basically create havoc in the entire family. And they create two camps in the family: a camp that's with them and a camp that is against them. And the people who are against them, they have a tough time. And I was in that camp with my son because I saw straight through him, and my daughter and his own son were in the other camp of pro him. So that created a huge rift between me and my children as well, and it took a long time for that to heal. With my daughter, it completely escalated the relationship. We completely fell apart, and that was all because of his doing. Now she's an adult, and now we are, thank goodness, we are good again. We are in touch again, really heart to heart, and we've been able to talk about it. But my girl is also still suffering from the consequences of that relationship I had during her teenage years. And it affects her in her love life and in her feelings of self-worth, etc., etc. So I have been there, okay? I know what I'm talking about. Just so you don't think, oh, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say. I have been there. I've been through all that shit. And with my family, with my children, in a way, I'm still going through these things, right? Because my children still need to heal. I myself also still need to heal, because I have also been there, that after that relationship I got involved with someone else and it was a beautiful connection and I got triggered all over the fucking place. And that was not because this new partner was bad. Not at all. It's because I had these triggers. I still needed to heal. Right? And that's basically with the first card reading from yesterday with these cards is what likely for most of you is the case. That you have been in a bad relationship, either an abusive relationship, doesn't have to be, can also be that you were in a relationship that was really good and you thought it was going to last till the end of time, and then it fell apart, you got hurt really, really bad. Sometimes we get hurt this bad, this deeply, even when the partner that we had wasn't abusive, right? Just because we loved them so much. And then you can then, in the next relationship, in a new connection, find out that you still haven't completely healed yet. That you still have triggers, that you still get triggered. Because you're afraid. And as long as you're single, that's my own experience as well. As long as I was single, I didn't get triggered, right? Because there is no, the stuff that I could get triggered in as a human being on my own, I'd worked out, right? That was also there, but I'd worked through these things. But the stuff that is to do with a relationship, I couldn't work out on my own. You can't. You have to simply just basically wait until you find a new partner and just hope for the best. And I knew up front that if I was to find a new partner, that I was going to get triggered. Because what I've been through is, well, it was basically hell on earth. Okay, it was hell on earth. It was horrible. Absolutely beyond words horrible. So I knew, just logic, sheer logic, that I would get triggered in a new connection. But I didn't know how or when or what exactly or how long that would go on. And unfortunately, it was worse than I had expected. I had hoped that I had healed enough more and that I'd gotten stronger, but I got triggered all over the freaking place. But again, and I said that as well in one of the comments to one of my viewers, to one of you, even if you do get triggered in a new connection, first of all, that doesn't mean to say that that person is abusive. Not at all. You will likely also get triggered if you have been in a very bad relationship, in an abusive relationship, or you got hurt real bad. You will likely also get triggered by a wonderful quality partner. Because you have these fears still inside. You have a problem with opening up and trusting again and opening your heart and being able to fully love because you are afraid to get hurt again. So it doesn't mean to say that when you got this, that you're going to get an abusive partner or that you're going to get a bad relationship. Not at all. Please, please, please let that sink in. Not at all. It just means that if you still get triggered because you haven't worked through these things that are still in your system. And in a way that is good, because then you can heal. Then you can overcome these triggers. So then you can, after that, and because of that, then open up again, open your heart again, and dare to trust again, and then you can love. Then you can have that wonderful, glorious relationship. And with this said, you also had the it's safe for you to love. So in that sense, it's actually an indication that if you work through these triggers, that then you can feel safe again. You will feel safe again because you can open up again. And there was also the soulmate card and the new love card. So it was wonderful. And also what I wanted to say, it's eluded me now. I was about to say it just now. Oh God, that is annoying. Oh yeah, I got it. It also depends on how you deal with being triggered, getting triggered with your new partner. How that affects this new connection. If you, well, you likely will project your fears from the ex-partner, the one who hurt you, onto the new one. That's all you're doing, right? The new partner is not doing that. They don't necessarily have to be abusive at all. That's your own doing. It's your pain. It's your triggers that are causing this. You then, if you get triggered, if something happens that reminds you of what happened in this abusive, painful relationship, then you will get triggered, meaning you are, at that moment when you get triggered, you are projecting your fears caused by this ex-partner onto the new partner. Well, then it's important that you realize that that is happening. Because the other person, the new person, doesn't know. You can tell them what happened in your previous relationship, but then the new partner still doesn't know exactly where all your triggers, where all these alarm buttons are in your system, right? What is going to set you off. You are the one who knows, you. So you have to become aware when that happens, that you are being triggered again because of this ex-relationship, what happened there, and then the way you then deal with it, the way you then react to the new partner is actually going to define what happens to this new relationship. If you are going to go mental and treat this new partner the way you did your ex-partner, or react the way to him the way you did to your ex-partner, then this is likely going wrong, because this is a new person. This person is not responsible for your shit. I hope that is clear. No one is really responsible. Just things just happen in life. There's also a reason why you attracted the previous abusive partner. You can't blame him either. Don't go there either. Because that's also going to keep you stuck. That's not good. That's not going to help you grow. You have to let them go. You have to forgive them. Forgive yourself, forgive the ex-partner, then you can move on. As long as you cannot forgive that ex-partner, you're going to be stuck in shitty relationships for, until you can forgive that partner. And that's not the doing of new partners, then you are likely going to blame new partners for, I keep attracting abusive partners, but that's your own doing. Because you attract that, because it's still active in your vibration, this abusive shit. You have to work through it. And sometimes we have to go through a relationship that is not going to last in order to work through these triggers, to heal. Doesn't have to be that way. It could happen that this is going to work out. But like I said, it depends on how you deal with your own triggers. And I also know from experience, that's also what I do all my courses on, if you can communicate in a proper, healthy way to the new partner about what's going on, then this will work out, then this will have a chance. Right? But that depends on you. And funny enough, there must be just stupid synchronicity. I have not planned this. You cannot plan this, right? Next week, I do start a course, a 5-day online course that is a lot not all, but an awful lot to do. Let's say 80% to do with communication in a relationship between man and woman. So also in dating, not just when you're involved, also when you're single and when you want to go out and date. To learn to communicate the right way, to learn to communicate in a feminine way. So that's far more empowering, and it will also help you if you get in this situation or something similar, or even just in any connection with a man, if there is a problem, to deal with it. So it doesn't become a mountain when it's actually just a molehill. It will help you. It will help the relationship. It will help you open up, and that will also help the man open up. I'm not going to go into great detail. It's just you have to feel that within, I suppose, feel my energy. And if you've been following me, you know my energy. I've been talking about my work with my courses more often as well. So then if you just feel that, and if you also feel on the inside that you actually would want to learn to communicate in a healthy way, then check out my website for that course, Sparkling Diva 1111, so 1111, sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com, and you will find that course there on the, it's called Shortcuts 3 High Value Woman, and all the information, what exactly I'm going to address is in there. You can read it there. You can also then sign up. Yeah, that's for this set. Now there was something else just now, and now it's eluded me again. That's the problem when your mind is so fast. So again, this is not necessarily a bad relationship. This is also not like that. Like the partner is going to be abusive. It's more likely that you are going to get triggered because of what happened to you in the past. And that will happen even then with a wonderful new partner, right? Now, if I remember what else I wanted to say, I will tell you. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. If I remember, I will tell you, you know, so please keep watching then for another bit. I'm sorry about that. It was important, but... I don't know anymore. Oh yeah, also the mirroring, and that's not for most of you, but that's for some of you. I think for most of you, you actually have been in a bad relationship or have been badly hurt by someone, by a past relationship. Not necessarily abusive, but just really badly hurt and wounded. This is also, I said yesterday in reading, the mirroring. That is happening, and that is then a mutual thing usually, that you mirror them and they mirror you. In a way, mirroring is also like triggering, but it could be slightly different. You know, when high soul connections get together, they often also trigger each other, mirror each other, and that is only meant to help you overcome things that are now limiting you in your growth, in your standing tall, standing in your own, shining your own light. And that's then, yeah, that's the goal of that trigger, of that mirroring as well. Even with twin flames, that still happens, that you mirror one another. Depending on how much growth you've already done, the mirroring will be mild or really quite intense. So that also depends. Right? A lot has to do with how much personal growth you have done and are doing. As well, also, if you have been in an abusive, bad relationship, you know, if you do a lot of personal growth, work on self, self-love, self-esteem, and so on and so forth, the stronger you will be when you get to this new connection, so you won't get triggered nearly as much. Also for that, if you're interested in that, in working on yourself, because maybe you're now thinking, oh yeah, well that's great, how the hell am I going to do that? I've just opened, actually especially because of this reading that I did yesterday, my self-love key to happiness 5-day course, and that's free. All right, I just opened that up again on my website for free because of this reading, because I thought, well, maybe it's time again to do that. Maybe this is a sign from the universe for me to offer that again. It's for free, it's 5 days, it's completely online. I've done it before, earlier this year. And it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. I do deliver results, okay? I am like a steam train running over you. That's because I tend to over-deliver, and there's so much I want to always offer you and give you, because there is so much, and I'm so enthusiastic about all these things. So I tend to want to give you so much within these 5 days that I tend to, you know, overdo it a little bit. But it's always there's always a good build up. But it's like I'm kind of like a steam train because of that, you know. So you really have to be ready for it, ready to do that work, and so you get the maximum results out of it. You do get results out of it. It's like I said, I've done that course before. I think I've done a number of courses in the meantime. They all deliver the goodies. So if that interests you, if you feel like, yes, I still really do need to work on self-love, self-esteem, confidence, and so on and so forth, please then check out on my website and sign up for that course. It's free. That is on sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com, and then you will find it there under courses. In the header there is all these thingies, and there's also courses. You will find it there. And then if you want this, then really sign up for it now, because it could very well be the last time I'm offering this for free. Because my courses really deliver the goodies. They're really good. They're in-depth and just really freaking good. And, you know, so I'm not going to keep offering things for free all the time. So it could be the last time that this one is for free. So take advantage of that. And sign up if this really, you know, if you feel on the inside, if it really resonates that you really want to do this. I want to work with committed people. So if you're more like, oh, well, it's free, you know, might as well sign up, then you're not the right person for me, okay? I want committed people, people who are truly committed to their own growth and are willing to do the work and to invest in themselves. Otherwise, I'm going to work with people who are not motivated. And I don't like that at all. That doesn't do me any good. Then there is no exchange, right? I need something out of it as well. It has to make me feel good too. So anyhow, I hope that helps you a little bit if you chose that set yesterday with the reading. Also, I'm gonna get the 2 new card decks in one of these days. I don't think it's gonna come in today anymore, but then likely, hopefully tomorrow or the day after. Goddesses and Sirens, and also the Gods and Titans deck. So it's feminine and masculine. 2 new decks. Then I want to use that for a reading as well right away. Okay, so then I likely will do a reading, and I will try to connect it to this one, so then maybe use it to see how you are going to be, feel, behave, etc. in your next relationship. How the man is going to be, feel, behave in the next relationship. Something like that. Because then I have these cards for that. I like that. I really love that. You know, then I have from the same woman, Stacey DeMarco. Right, so I have the feminine cards, the female cards, and the masculine male cards. So I can do a really nice reading with that. So if you want to know more about this situation, keep an eye out on my channel, and because that is coming up. I do have some other work to do as well, but as soon as these cards come in, I know myself, and I want to do a reading with them. So keep an eye out for that, because that's coming up. And thank you for watching. I hope this helped you a little bit, okay, to understand a little bit more. I'm going to also now tell a little bit more about the numbers 3, because there was also some people who felt like, oh, well, wonderful, great, you know. And I don't want you to have a shitty feeling after a reading. And so I'm going to try to explain a little bit more about that one as well. The numbers 2 don't really need any more explanation. I think that was pretty clear. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you want the courses, either the free one, Self-Love, the Key to Happiness, or the High Value Woman with the communication skills, then please check out my website, sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com. Righty, the numbers 3, for the numbers 3, who chose this set yesterday with the reading, the snake, the exploitation, and the fulfillment, and the shaman, and then there was the control issue, romance, angels card, and forgiving and learning, and I can't remember the other one. Anyhow, this reading, it was like I said, it is power struggles, right? And one wanting to be in control, and then the other feeling used, abused, or not seen, valued, whatever. Then the situation is reversed, because I did seriously feel, I did say that as well, that this is going back and forth. So it's different from an abusive relationship where one person is dominant and abusive of the other, and it's different, because I did seriously feel that this is going back and forth. And now, what could be the case for if you choose this for this next relationship? It doesn't have to be, but it does really resonate very strongly with me that for most of you it's going to be the case, is that you are a very strong person and they are going to be a very strong person. And if you then are not completely empowered yet, like the shaman is, then you can get this situation, because then both want to be the captain on the ship. So then you're basically sort of competing with one another. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep looking for the middle of the camera, but if I do that, then I'm not looking at myself. And if I do look at myself, I see that it's like I'm doing this. It's really odd. It's probably there, that lens again. It's very confusing. So that's why I'm moving around with my eyes all the time, if you've noticed that. But anyhow, if you're two strong personalities and neither of you are completely empowered just yet, then you get this back and forth taking control in the relationship, because you're then, because of ego, you're then still too much in your ego still to be able to stand right next to one another and to complement each other. And that's what you have to learn. And I think I even said that yesterday as well, that you have to learn to work together. And that's what I meant. If you can learn that by doing your own work, working on personal growth, so you then you're not so much in your ego anymore. Then you know, I'm trying to find the English word for it. You don't feel that you have to prove anything anymore when you are really more empowered. Then you can just let things slide more easily, because you know you are okay, you are valued, you are strong, because you value yourself, you love yourself. You don't have that need anymore to prove yourself. It's not really the right word. I hope you get what I'm trying to say here, because I'm not. It eludes me, the right word. It eludes me right now. But if you are empowered as two strong personalities in a relationship, then you can actually truly complement one another. Then you can get this. Then you can stand right next to each other, as opposed to butting heads like that, right? And then you can stand next to one another and complement one another, and then you can take the other, allow the other to take the lead when they are actually more knowledgeable in a situation than you are, and you know that in another situation the other person will allow you to take the lead because you are more knowledgeable in that situation, meaning you truly complement each other. You really then use each other's strength to be stronger as a couple. And I think I said that as well yesterday to one of you who felt like, well, I don't want a relationship like that, then I'd rather stay single. If you are in a relationship like this and you can work it out, so you can learn to work together by doing your own personal work and growth, and you then can bring it together and work together as one, you are going to be so powerful as a couple, as a team. You can move mountains. This is going to be then a couple that is indestructible almost. You're going to be really, this is really then going to be a power couple. unbelievably powerful. Two powerful people in a relationship that love each other, who respect each other, appreciate one another, inspire one another. Wow, that's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But it just all hinges whether you will get there or not on you doing the work on yourself, on personal growth. Otherwise it doesn't work. Right? You cannot have the penthouse if you haven't done the foundation. Simple as that. You can't. If you want the penthouse, you need to have a foundation, a solid, proper foundation. So I hope that explains that one a little bit more, right? That it's because I do feel for most of you who chose this, that is actually the case. That it's not like a bad relationship at all. It's not. It's just I feel really two very powerful personalities. Maybe a lot of fiery energy, very passionate, powerful people. Well, then you can imagine that if two powerful people come together, then you have to also speak each other's languages. You have to, all the stuff that I just said now. I think that's clear enough. It's the same thing like with for instance, a Taurus and a Leo together in a relationship. If these two people then are not empowered, like the shaman, it's not going to work out because there's too much ego involved. A not empowered Leo can be really unpleasant, really freaking unpleasant. A not empowered Taurus is also not so pleasant. They're both very, very strong personalities, and if they then get together in a relationship, even though they completely love each other, because I said that as well, right? You want the fucking same thing. You do want that. There is love. You want the same thing. You want a relationship together. But if you're not empowered and you're both, one is stuck in this stubborn, not empowered Leo energy, this is just one example, right? And the other is stuck in not empowered Taurus energy, yeah. Then you're gonna lock horns, so to speak, and you're gonna work against each other, even though you want the same thing. You both want a relationship because you do love each other. You do care, likely very deeply, about one another. But you have to learn to work together, and you get there by doing the growth, inner growth, personal development. So your ego isn't in the way anymore. Right? So this actually really, I can't remember what the third romance angel card was for this anymore, but this can actually be an incredibly strong relationship. So please don't see this as a bad option. It's actually great, a really great option. It's the kind of thing I wouldn't mind being in. I really wouldn't mind being in there. It's just you have to be able to get over this stage, and that is all in your own control, within your own control. That's within your own control. Really is. Because you can choose to do this or not. Right? And